Well, what's up, guys? I guess you can definitely tell that I'm underneath the truck. Just trying to finish buttoning up some of my wiring. I built some battery cables, seeing how I put both batteries on the driver's side. I just redid all the battery cables, all of them, the cable to the starter, ground cables, and all. Right now I'm just trying to button up where I'm putting the ground straight from the batteries to the block, and then I'm gonna have grounds from there to the chassis, to the frame rails. If you're familiar with the 6.0 trucks or these F250s, mine's got a ground that went from each battery. Passenger side went down to the frame rail, and then it had another one that came off and went right to the motor, and then the driver's side one just went only to the frame rail. And then but I'm doing a little bit different. I'm going to ground straight to the block from this battery. I'm using right now, I took and got me some 4/0 big cable and I made one that went from my positive to my starter, and I took the harness that goes across the top of the firewall, and I pulled the wire out for the starter, for the solenoid that actual, puts it in the start, whatever, and pulled it out of the harness, and I ran it, and it's on this side. I'm gonna shorten it and connect everything on this side instead of having wires over there. I'll show you in a second. I made me a battery cable. Right. I'm actually looking for some some corrosion, I'm looking for some sheathing for my main power wire that goes from the batteries to the starter. I'm looking for some sheathing that has not only is it helps with heat and everything, I want it to help it from the wire actually getting cut. So yeah, that ought to be real nice to have that. about to spin it over. I'm trying to build oil pressure, so I know it's not going to start. Fuel solenoid is not connected. Better hook the battery charger up. I had to hook up the battery charger while I try to do this. Good, I got oil pressure. That's good. Alright, so it's the next day. I had a baby shower, and my birthday is actually today, but I had a baby shower and slash, I guess you call it a birthday party yesterday. So I had to stop. Once I built oil pressure, I got it building oil pressure, you know, and it's good. The only thing I'm running into right now is I have the Swap Helpers tack adapter. It's powering on, but according to the instructions, it says there's two wires, there's two LEDs on it. The red one, it shows it has power, and the yellow one, it says it's supposed to flash 3 times on the initial power up, and then it's supposed to stay on to be getting a good signal from the Cummins tack sensor or crank sensor. For some reason, it's not staying on, so I don't know why. So I'm thinking that's also causing the reason why my fuel pump, once when you turn the key, the fuel pump kicks on, you know, it primes the system, and then it shuts off after, what, 30 seconds, something like that. And that's what it does. It just shuts off. I can't get it to stay on. And I think it's got to do because the truck's not getting a tack signal, which I did notice that as I was trying to start it, and I wasn't getting a tack signal. So I don't know why this is happening. I've double checked, triple checked my wiring, and it's connected, you know, from according to instructions. I mean, everything seems to be connected properly. I'm gonna do it again, but I don't know. I'm gonna try to start it. I think it's probably gonna fire, but we'll see. I don't know what's going on. Why my fuel, I need to know why my fucking things aren't doing properly. Well, didn't exactly work. I'm still having issues with the fuel pressure. I don't know what the hell's up with that. It just kind of cut off on its own. But it cranked up. Ain't that cool? I gotta figure out the what we got here. That's weird. earlier in the video, I did figure out why my tach wasn't working. After messing with it for a bit, I don't know why. I just didn't pay attention to a switch on it, but I mean, it was definitely my fault, because I just assumed, which we all know what assume means. It makes an ass out of you and me. Since it said that it was ready, it would come out of the box already set up for a 6.0, I didn't think nothing about it was the box, not having the switch wasn't switched. But after getting on Cummins Tech on the Facebook group, I think it was Cummins Tech, yes, the actual owner, designer of Swap Helper contacted me within minutes of me posting that. We made contact, or he called me, and we resolved the problem within a few minutes, which that's probably the best customer service I've ever had. Even though it was, it was something so stupid. It was 100% my fault. I was just anxious to get it started, man. This truck's been sitting, and I've been trying to get it running for so long. But yeah, he called me. We got it straightened out. My tach works perfectly, and it's nice and smooth. It ain't jumpy. So it definitely does exactly what I wanted it to do. It works. It seems to work flawlessly so far. So yeah, that problem was solved. So far the truck's running. It'll start up and run perfectly. Like, this is probably the easiest engine that I ever had to start up. I thought I was gonna have a little bit of trouble getting the fuel system primed. That was easy. But with the electric fuel pump that's already on the truck, it primed the system right up. Like in my last video, you just seen where I built oil pressure. Obviously, then that's all I was looking for. And then once I did that, it fired right up. Now I'm just trying to button up. Just buttoning up stuff. I got all my coolant stuff ran. It's all hooked up. I using the DCS adapter stuff. I got their kit. I pretty much got everything from DCS that I could use for my swap. Seeing how I had a 24 valve. It's an 02 model Cummins block. So it's a 24 valve with a P pump. So I did away with all electronics. I'm just running, mechanical setup. So I just got everything that I needed. I didn't get the intercooler piping for the simple fact is I actually, in the process of doing this build, I went ahead and replaced my intercooler with an upgraded Banks one. Found a really good deal, so I couldn't pass it up. And it's got 3.5 inch inlets and outlet, or an inlet and an outlet on the intercooler. So obviously, I could have used the DCS piping, which is still maybe an option, but I think I can make something that's going to work. And yeah, so I would have had to run adapters from whatever their pipe size was to the 3.5, and my intake horn is also a 3.5 because it's one of the Banks ones too. I found a good deal on it as well, and went ahead and just got an intake horn because I didn't actually have one. And yeah, so I'll here, you can take a look. So yeah, I got the intake horn. I'm still working on cleaning my wiring harness up. I got everything ran like I want it for the most part. Just got to do the intercooler piping. You can see I got both batteries over here. Still working on how I want that to be. Not sure if I'm happy with the way I got everything wired right now. I may change a little bit because I don't want a lot of stuff on the post, just because it just doesn't look good with a whole bunch of shit on the posts. So I'm thinking, and I also could use a junction, like a distribution block. So I'm thinking about get me a distribution block and find it somewhere I can run around here and have a cable running from this to that block to where I can attach a couple things that need to be ran, from the hot side. Maybe even do one for the ground wires as well. Cause like I said, I just don't want a bunch of stuff on these. It just looks ugly. I want it to be nice and clean. And anything that I have coming off the batteries that's on the hot side, I want a fuse. I want to be a fuse on it somehow. So right now I've just got the starter wire, the main power starter wire, and the alternator hooked directly to the battery. I want to run a fuse on them just for the sake of doing it, and just, I'd feel more comfortable knowing if anything ever the wire got chafed or something, which I am going to put something over the wire, but I'm just trying to take extra precautions that if something ever just in case. I don't even know how, that's the only thing I could say is just in case. But back to the all my coolant stuff. Obviously you can say I use the tank. I had to massage this aluminum tank a little bit, which I figured I might, so that's why I've gotten an aluminum one. I had to massage a little bit to clear the intake horn and see now it doesn't hit. See now it isn't hitting. I'd have to actually hit it hard to do that. You can see I reused one of the fittings from the 6-liter that was attached to the head on it, or somewhere on it, and it was for the coolant. So I ran it to the old spot. You can see, and I've got this Flexolite twin fan set up, and you can kind of see down in there one of the pipes that I got from part of the coolant hose kit or whatever that came from DCS. I'll see if I can get underneath it so you can see a little bit better. And I still also, while I'm over here, I still got to run the exhaust pipe. If you can see, I don't know if you can see, but a section of my old pipe from the 6.0 is still down there, and it's not far from it. So I'm thinking I might be able to use this down pipe that I have in here for a Dodge truck, cut it, and attach it to that one somehow. And as you can see, I'm gonna see if I can make this work. This is temporary, my alternator wire right here, because I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with it. This is the actual pipe that came with the Banks intake horn, but it actually has a 3-inch outlet down there that'll attach to my turbo, and the 3.5 up here where it'll attach to my intercooler. And so I'm gonna try it and see if it'll work. If not, I think it will. But if not, it's pretty much clearing everything right now, not hitting anything. If it'll work, I may run it, but I may, in the future, I want everything matching under here. So I may end up making a new pipe, or powder coating this one if it works for me. And then I'm trying to get under it. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it, but it's not kind of hard to see. Oh yeah, and I went ahead and I've got my front end pretty much back together. I've just been keeping a battery tender while it's been sitting there, just for the sake of it, because I've been working on the inside and the outside of the truck. And I got a little bit of updates for the inside of the truck. I'm still working on finishing up I'm working on the interior. I've got pretty much most of the interior in the truck. I'm waiting to finish the front, because I actually put sound deadener, but I ran out. I have sound deadener on the roof, and I have it on the floor to right about here. And I ordered some more, and there's just a little, I don't know. I'm gonna sound deaden the rest of the floor as far up the firewall for now as I can. And I'm gonna do the doors. I'm gonna do the doors as well. I got most of the stuff ready for the dash to sit on. I just ain't put them. Really, this is the best way to do it, is build your dash on the bench. Put everything, all your wiring and everything on the bench. Do all your, so do all your wiring on the bench. It's the best way to do this swap. If you do a dash swap on these, is just put your dash on the bench, take your old dash, pull all the wiring harness and everything out of it, and lay it on the new dash where you want it, and figure out everything that way. And then I did it with the bare frame, so I stuck the bare frame in here just to test out everything so far, and just to make sure everything's gonna work for me like I want it to, and it looks nice and clean. I did run the 20, I got the newer steering column as well. I retrofitted an 08 to 10 clock spring on it, and I also got an 08 to 10 shifter linkage from, well, cable. The cable, let me rephrase that. I got the 08 to 10 cable because my truck has a 5R110 and I plan on leaving it in here. So I got that cable, and I didn't have, you need the bracket off of an 08 to 10 and swap it out on your transmission for the 5R110. But I was able to take mine and just modify it a little bit and made it clip right in. So we'll see how it works. If it don't, I'll go ahead and I'll see if I can locate one. I just couldn't find one when I wanted it, so I just modified the original one and put it on, and right now it's shifting like it's supposed to. For the most part, everything's working like it should. My truck already had auto lights and electronic, it's got electronic switch for the 4-wheel drive. I got it, I took it apart, swapped out some resistors on the newer switch, put it on the board from my old switch, put the resistors off of it onto the new board. It works, although I don't know. If you got any questions though, I was trying, feel free to drop them below in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them, and I can only vouch for my truck. My truck being a 2004 6.0 truck, so I know some of them are different. There is difference. There's minor. I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do. There's differences because a lot of the stuff that worked on the 7.3 trucks will work on mine. Like I said, if you got any questions, feel free to drop them below in the comments. And make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification so you know when I'm posting my next video. But hopefully next time we'll be taking this thing on a test drive. I'm just waiting on a couple boots right now so I can make a intercooler, the intercooler pipe to my intake horn. I'm gonna see if I got some ideas, so I think I can make something work there. But hopefully next time we'll be able to be test driving this thing and driving it around. Right now it just fires right up. But just make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you know when I post the next vid. Until next time, see ya.